90% of job seekers need to update their resume and change their interview preparation approach. You will learn how to tailor your resume to stand out, prepare for interviews like a pro, and avoid common mistakes. Stick around, as I've been in tech industry for about 9 years as a test lead engineer and tech recruiter, and I'm interviewing hiring managers from big tech and startups to help you prepare for job interviews. Why you are not getting job interviews, and top mistakes that people are doing during the job search. Poorly tailored resume. When you're trying to hit many jobs with just one single resume, if you are a backend engineer and you're trying to get into the full stack and you're not customizing for full stack position your resume, you're just trying to put whatever you had previously and trying to dump all job openings that are available with a single resume. Very high chances that you will be rejected. Same thing to software testing position. When you QA engineer with 3-5 years of experience, you're applying for positions that require data analytics testing or test automation position. Yes, you have a chances, but much less than compared to a person who will be applying to the same position but customizing to specific job requirements. For test automation, he would highlight that he is a test automation engineer. This person will have much more chances compared to who will be posting with one single resume to all jobs. So the number 2, lack of qualification or skills. It's more related career changers, recent graduates. Same thing applies. You're trying to just dump your resume in many places. It may work, but also very high chances that your resume will not get through. Cold submitting resumes. If you just submitting and you are not following up through the LinkedIn, you submit your resume and you didn't shoot a message, short, very concise message that you are submitting. Very high chances that your resume will be not just ignored, but just buried in top of other resumes. You can see any posting how many applicants already applied, and you will see hundreds. If you're not networking, you're missing a lot of referrals, chances. You're just giving up these opportunities. How you can do the networking, we will cover it on level 3 for job hunting and networking. Number 5, poor online presence. Yeah, this is actually a funny thing. If you have contradictory, let's say, Facebook pictures, posts, keep in mind, employers are looking. Oftentimes, they are checking your LinkedIn profile. They can even check your Facebook, Instagram. Not all the time, but it may happen. If you have something that may hurt, please be mindful, delete and make it neat and nicely. Limited job search scope. I've met so many times applicants who were targeting only for specific positions and they limiting themselves. Okay, let's say, oh, I am just a Python backend engineer and I think I'm not gonna be relevant to, let's say, Java position. You don't actually know if you won't try. If you will be sticking to your industry or to your specific area, you're definitely limiting yourself, and that's very less chances compared to if you would be ready to apply to the multiple positions, obviously with customized resume for that positions. Write in the comment section below the reason why do you think you are not getting the job interviews. How improve your resume and make it outstanding. I created for you a resume checklist for software engineers and QA. I will walk you through this checklist. If you apply just 30%, you will improve your resume dramatically. So first of all, you have to understand who is reading your resume, and 2 audience most likely will be reading your resume before you actually will be get picked. So first it will be technical recruiters, and the second will be hiring managers or technical team from the hiring team. You have only 6 seconds to grab an attention from technical recruiters or hiring managers when they are going to read your resume. If they see any typos, if they see any grammar errors or formatting issues, inconsistent format, fonts, just not easy to read your resume, it will be a red flag, and most likely your resume will be skipped. You can find this resume template in the end of this lesson. This resume has summary, experience, skills section, education and projects. In the top is you see the contact information. It's very also thoughtful about the real estate. It doesn't use a lot of space. It has also clickable links, which is very useful, and you should also do this. Professional summary should be very concise, 1-2 lines, not more than that. Treat it as an elevator. No one will read your professional summary if it will be like one paragraph or 1/3 of your resume is just a professional summary. I saw that some people using even the whole page as a professional summary. In the industry across for software engineers and testers, professional summary should be very short. 1-2 lines, not more than that. Highlight the most significant part of your career. What do you want to sell? You as a professional. That's it. Don't write their history. Don't write their fluff words in the professional summary. Skill section. This is the favorite section for many technical recruiters because they're not gonna go to the history and to your experience and looking into your keywords that they are looking or technologies that they are looking. So they have requirements. They have specific hard skills that you need to meet in order to get interested by a recruiter. So they will go through the technical skills and they will say, okay, I'm looking for a software engineer in Java with Kafka and Linux. So they will be looking into that. If they don't find it there, high chances that they will not go to the experience. So make sure you list all relevant to you skills in that section. Don't assume that they will go and see you specify this in experience section. So many times I saw that recruiters may skip this part because they didn't find it in the skill section. Please avoid obvious stuff like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint. We are in a technical world, so we assume that you should be familiar with. Work experience. This is the favorite part for hiring managers and technical team. Recruiters, they go to the work experience after they found the relevant skills in the skill section, and they're trying to also connect the dots in the working experience. How did you use those tools and skills that you mentioned in the technical skills section? Try to use the STAR method: the situation, task, action, and the result. Hiring managers, they like to see the impact that you've done in the company, in the project, and what was the outcome, what was the result. Also list the most relevant experience and try to describe as much as possible. If you don't have the relevant experience, put the projects that you was working and describe that same method with the STAR method: situation, task, action, and results. In the education section, list your all degrees, certificates, courses. Try to put relevant stuff there. If you're coming from even top 30 schools, you can also list it on the top. It will definitely grab the attention from hiring managers or technical recruiters. If you think that you may be discriminated by age and you don't want to disclose the year of completion by degree because you can calculate it, obviously, it's okay not to specify the date of completion. Projects you should treat as a working experience if you don't have any experience, and put these projects also on the top if you don't have relevant experience. Job search is the same as a full-time job for a salesperson. Instead, you're going to sell yourself and your skills, but you may not have this time and you need to create an action plan to get a result as fast as possible. Remember that only 2% of resumes will end up with the interviews, assuming that you have polished resumes. Also count that you may fail several interviews before you will get a job offer. Also assuming that you have your skills that you listed in your resume. Alright, let's create an action plan. Assume that you will fail about 5 to 6 interviews before you will get an offer. So that means you need at least 200-300 applications to get to this result. So you need 10 to 15 applications a day, constantly sending during the month to get this result. So how many applications a day you are willing to do? Write an action plan. And also remember, if you want to get a chances higher when you're submitting your applications via LinkedIn, send a short message to a recruiter who posted this job. And networking, as you remember, the most effective way to get a job. Make a list of all events and meetups that you can potentially attend. And best way to network is bring value, not just asking for referral. Attend, make a personal connection, tell your story, or offer help and be a contributor. This way, people want you to help you as well in return. Usually there is a 3 level of interviews. The first would be with the technical recruiter, the second would be with the hiring manager or technical team member, and the third one would be the final round of interviews. Let me walk you through one by one. The first initial screening call with the recruiter would be like 15 to 30 minutes. What you have to expect is you can talk about the role, about the company, about the product briefly, about the compensation, which is very important to discuss, and expectations. You can find their expectations and you also can set your expectations, and if it match, then you will go forward. During this call, you have to prepare, tell me about yourself. Explain briefly, no long monologues, just briefly tell about yourself, about your project, make it specific that it matches to this specific job. Be prepared to answer why you are looking, and if you have any gaps, get ready a reasonable explanation. Talk about the salary. You will be asked your expectations. Give me your range, so be ready to answer that. You may don't want to disclose it right away. You can ask what is their salary range instead of telling your salary range, but always make sure that your expectations and their expectations of the company expectations are matching. For example, if you are looking $200,000 a year, but the salary range for the company is only 150, 280, you probably will be not a good match for that position. So keep this in mind. Recruiters will be looking if you are a good match for this position, at least minimum requirements. And whatever you put on your resume, does it match to whatever you say? Compensation fit, I already mentioned that. And your enthusiasm, your soft skills, are you good a communicator? And the way how you talk to a recruiter also will be evaluated. So be nice. The second round will be with the hiring manager or technical team, depends on the company and the processes. You also may be given the take-home assignment before this interview. What to expect during this interview? With the hiring manager, you will be talking more deeply about the technologies, about the team, about the project. So this is the time when you can ask actually more deeper technical questions, more deeper about the projects, about the technologies that they are using. Also, this is a good chance to ask about the challenges that they are facing and why they are hiring exactly for this role. Be ready to walk through more deeper about your current role, about your responsibilities, technologies that you used at your company. And if you were given the technical assignment, also be ready to walk through how you solve this problem, where you can actually improve. And on this round, they will be evaluating your technical skills. Are you really possess whatever you put on your resume? And do you have actually that skills that you were talking through the interview? And keep showing your enthusiasm and your great communication skills. Alright, you got to the final. Congrats, but early to celebrate. You still have to walk through the most difficult part. It can be all the way up to 6 hours. What you should expect. It can be multiple round of interviews, or it could be a panel interview where at the same time can be present several people. But this will be handling the technical part. So this is where you can truly show your technical skills. If you are looking for software engineering jobs, then you will be doing the whiteboard exercises or shared screen or pair programming. If you are in software testing, you will be also showing your bug report skills, coding skills as well. They may ask you same thing, shared screen. For engineering roles, be ready with the data structure, algorithm questions, and system design. During those exercises, be ready to walk through your thought process. How do you solve the problem? What do you think? Just don't do this silently. Take notes and talk it out loud. Don't start immediately solving the problem. Ask clarifying questions. Make sure that you understand fully what are you doing. Try to optimize your solution and try to test it. And in the end, they're looking if you can do your job. Can you walk through your thought process and how did you come up with your solution? How do you prepare? Start prepare early, 3-4 months at least. For big tech companies like Netflix, Google, you want to start prepare even more than 6 months ahead. The longest part will be at technical preparation. Regardless of if you are going for software engineering position or software testing position, you have to practice with the coding challenges. At least take 1 hour a day. Usually the most challenging for software testers and QA would be brush up with the programming languages, infrastructure and technologies. What I mean by infrastructure and technologies is servers, version control systems, learning a database, learning CI/CD and so on. For software engineers, the most challenging part would be data structure and algorithm important questions. Also, system design. Most rejections from the final interview usually coming from this list, when the interviewers were not prepared technical enough. If you conquer technical interview preparation, you conquer 50% of the interviewing process. The rest 50% would be behavioral questions and your communication skills. Tell me about yourself is the most important question that you have to master. It is the opening question in all stages of the interviews. And this is the only question where you can control the flow of the interview. If you start tell me about yourself weak, if you end up with your tell me about yourself on the weak part of your skills, you will get in trouble. But if you master your tell me about yourself and go to your best part, you have much more chances. Be short, be concise. It doesn't need to be a monologue. It just need to be not more than 1 minute. Consider it is an elevator pitch. What you should include in tell me about yourself. Don't start with your history. Don't start with where you come from and where you was born. Nobody cares. Tell me about yourself is all about your relevant experience, relevant skills, how you can be the best candidate for this specific position. If the interviewers would be more curious about your background, they will ask you a question, and of course you can share your more personal information, but be relevant. After tell me about yourself, behavioral questions where you have to master. They start with how, why, what. For example, take your resume, go to the skills section, pick any tool or technologies that you listed there, and ask yourself how you did that. And go deeper. In your answer, ask yourself something else, how you did that, and go deeper. You need to be confident to go at least 3 times deep with question how, why, or what. For example, you list there, in sake of simplicity, I'll put it testing website. How did you test website? I was using browser. Okay. How did you test in the browser? Well, I opened the Chrome console, or I was using the browser stack, and then I would ask you. You would open the Chrome console, and how did you test that? Same thing applies with all situation possible in your work experience. Like, oh, tell me the story when you had a conflict with a developer, with a tester, with a project manager. You need to come up with those type of stories, and you have to keep under your belt several of them. Now, before the interview, obviously you have to do a research about the company and about the hiring team. About the company, you have to figure out what kind of product they are doing, high level, what is the company, what is their mission, is the company's product and mission is aligned to your values as well. If it does, it's really good and you can emphasize it during the interview. About the hiring team, you just need to research on a surface level. Don't be creepy, don't go to the Instagram or Facebook. LinkedIn would be good enough. Just figure out what kind of a position the person is holding, and that would be good enough. Now you know how to prepare, but skills doesn't come with reading or watching YouTube. Skills come with practice. It is the same as you would go to the boxing ring, right? You can watch many videos, you can read a lot of books, but on the ring, only the practice will show how you are actually prepared. And the easiest way you can start practicing can record yourself. Tell me about yourself and observe yourself. How do you like yourself? I bet you would not like yourself at the first time. Neither did I. When I was looking at myself, I was like, what? Who is this guy? It's not me. I don't like my voice. I don't like how I look. I don't like how I act. You want to observe yourself. What do you like and what you don't like? This is how you will be improving. Repeat all the time. Very easy and very affordable way to start. Everybody has a camera. Let's start doing this. Let's level up. Find a peer or partner who will be doing the mock interviews with you. You won't make yourself uncomfortable. You won't make yourself feeling that you're gonna be judged. And believe it or not, you will be feeling uncomfortable. So if you do this as much as possible, you will be overcome this fear, and this is exactly what do you want to practice. Now let's be serious and let's find an engineer who will be more technical and skillful than you. This is the only way how you can find the growth, because only this guy, he can challenge you. He can give you a complex problem that the answers you may don't know yet. And this is where you're gonna start growing your interviewing skills. Now, if tech engineers will challenge you, hiring managers will make you a pro. Only they have their direct responsibilities with the hiring and firing processes. So they've done tons of interviewing and they have this bullshit detector that they can tell you why you would fail or why you would not. If you can take the feedback from hiring managers, take it as a golden, because if you fail the interview, most likely you will not get the feedback because of the legal issues, because of the company policies, and nobody wants to deal with that. So if you get the feedback, take it gracefully and implement right away.